Hello, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Vinyl Junkies versus Discogs, round 4. You guys want to win a t-shirt? Look at this spiffy t-shirt. Do you want to win this Discogs t-shirt? We're going to be doing a Discogs contest right now, talking about different things, and I'm going to turn off the voice in the background because I'm a dumbass and I don't do that. Listen to this! Somebody turn this off. Sorry. Hey, Jeff, say something. Talk, Jeff.
Hey, say something. Hi, how's it going? My name's Jeff. I'm here to entertain you while Sam learns how to actually do a podcast. Or the, I don't know, what does this make, the 300th show that you've been on, in total?
I fuck everything up, don't I? I'm back.
You seem to, but that's why we're here.
I'm a disaster. Listen, why do you think I can't do? Why is this my job? Because I can't do anything else. I hang out in a basement. I get high. I talk about music, and I have dumbasses like you to talk to. It's a beautiful thing, Kentucky. We have a beautiful thing happening right here.
Oh my God!
Do you want to win?
I don't know why you call me Kentucky.
Because that's where you live, dude.
Well, I know I live here, but it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, what do you want me to call you, dude? Hans and Franz? I mean, I can call you that too, and that would be a pretty accurate.
Do most of your people know who Hans and Franz is?
Old enough, some of us.
Maybe.
So look, you see the link. Let us know. I want to know your Discogs account so that we can all share. You guys want to know what the VJ archives look like? Up to now, nearly 3,900 records deep. And I have another 1,500 that goes in. Guys, we're going to try to set up something there for you so that we can work, provide this audience with the very best in vinyl services. Okay, Jeff?
Yeah.
What's on deck, buddy?
I'm gonna provide your audience with vinyl services?
Yes, sir.
That sounds weird.
Well, dude, Kentucky, you got a purty mouth. You understand? I got to start fucking bringing you in with banjos.
Oh, if you only could, that would just make it so much better.
You know what it is that we should do before we get into real topic?
Okay.
You're a bassist, right?
Yeah, we talked about that last episode.
I know. But the thing is you're kind of terrifying looking. It's the eyebrows, I think. Okay. So I'm just wondering what a guy like you looks like on stage doing bass face, right? Because bass face and drum face and guitar face is a different thing, right?
Oh my gosh.
Like guitar face is like they close their eyes and they kind of shake their head like this, like they're off on this fucking magical plane. Often then the drummers are kind of just either happy or kind of, you know, they got this.
Oh my gosh.
And then bassists, what is it with your lips? It's just.
Dude, I don't even know what it is, man. I don't know.
Bassists act like
I'm
arseholes
gonna drop
on stage.
something in the comments.
I know what you're gonna do. It's that video, right, of you?
There's a video of me playing.
I love it. Crash Avenue. I think this guy had a band called Crash Avenue. You have to watch the video in the comments. I've seen this before. It's a young Jeffrey Smith, and they're doing a video on this local station, and they're all wearing leather pants. And I swear to you, the leather pants are worth it. He looks like such a dumbass.
Here you go.
It's a beautiful thing.
Boom.
Brother.
In the comments.
Visit Discogs. Visit Discogs. You see the link? Tell us what your Discogs handle is. Win this t-shirt. I must say, the shirt is very soft.
It looks good on you.
Well, yeah. The only thing I get self-conscious about, the reason I wear shirts on top usually is because I'm a big, I'm a big guy. And I got a little bit of side boob happening. I got a little bit of that Abdullah the Butcher happening. And I'm a bit self-conscious about it. So usually I put something on top, but the logo has to show. Tell me what's on. We got to stop talking about nothing, Jeffrey. Tell me what you want to talk about.
Looks like that shirt. You need to put a Discogs logo on each shoulder so you can see it because the mic is in the way.
Yes. Well, what we could. I don't know.
No,
we're supposed to be. You guys.
We're supposed to be talking about things.
Things.
Yeah.
You have like 10 million entries. You have this thing called tracks. There's so much to talk about. Tell us, Jeffrey.
So much to talk about. So, yesterday, actually Wednesday late in the evening on Wednesday, we crossed over the 10 million threshold in the database for
Congrats,
releases.
dude. That's a big one, man.
It's a big milestone for us. And to be honest with you, if it weren't for, the huge community of contributors to the site, the people that are coming back over and over and cataloging the records, adding data to releases, going in and putting, the run out matrices to, pressing plant information into, these release variants, none of this would exist. So, it's one of those things. There's a blog post, and I'll drop that into the comments as well on it, that covers so much information.
Brother,
so that's in the comments section.
Can I tell you something that I've been doing? Like, one thing that I've become, like, now that I'm really working, full time, I'm in records all the time. We've discussed already that I'm on Discogs basically 24/7. There's always a tab open. But there's something that's been happening also. And I picked up the latest Kamasi record yesterday. Have you heard it yet?
Dude, no, I have not, because I'm awful and haven't had a chance to get down to the record store and get it yet. Did you find the extra record?
Well, yeah, dude, it's inside. It's inside. I can show. I mean, you're not going to be able to see it, but the viewers are. It's inside. There's basically this area that's perforated there. You see right at the top.
Right.
There's this area that's perforated. You're going to be able to see it soon on live. And you have to break that open. You have to cut that open, basically damage your cover in order to get to the 5th record. But the thing is 5 LPs. The first 2 LPs are Earth. The second 2 LPs are Heaven. And then the 5th one is called The Choice. So I found that pretty fun, right? It's like, you don't have to fuck up your cover if you don't want to hear the music. You have a choice. Kamasi. Right. Kamasi has a sense of humor. Maybe something bad, maybe something good. Dude, it is legit. I think probably the one, it's different than anything else on the record, and really good. There's covers on it, man. There's cover songs on it, and just that is worth it. Like, they do a version of, oh fuck, it's not even on here. You see, they don't even put the song titles to the secret disc on it, but it's got some cover songs. I forgot which ones. So look, getting back to Discogs, what it is that I found myself doing is 5 LPs, and if you listen to Kamasi, you'll see there's a lot happening. There's a whole fuck ton of musicians. The guy's been known to go on stage with 20-plus musicians and feature multiple instrumentalists in one thing. So there's not more than one drummer. So I find myself listening to the record, and there's a lot of... the thing with this that's different from the Epic is that the Epic is, you see Kamasi front and center, and it's really a free jazz, spiritual jazz, complete fucking freak out. And it's very, that impulse vibe is there a lot more. And that might not be a good thing for the, for someone who's trying to get into jazz. It might be too heavy, too harsh. This one's a lot more accessible. So you start hearing other aspects of the jazz catalog. So you'll hear some Afro-Cuban because there's some cool percussion. And the drummers are out of this mind, dude. Like, really? It's the best modern jazz drumming I've ever heard. And the bass playing, you should really check the bass playing out. What's happening in these records is that whereas the Epic was really a Kamasi front and center, it seems like Kamasi at this point is still there, but you're hearing a whole lot more virtuosic performances by his crew. So Cameron Graves is on the piano, and he's really checking out his chops. And Tony Austin on the drums. But it's not only Tony Austin, it's also Ronald Bruner Jr. The reason I know all of this, dude, is not the liner notes, because I can't make sense of the motherfucking liner notes. I can't. What I do is I go to Discogs.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny. We are the one that, well, not we, the royal we, but, someone on Discogs was the first one to notate that there was that hidden record. Did it before it came out. So basically the label was like a little tick that someone discovered it and put it on Discogs, and then everybody started talking about this 5th record. So that was pretty interesting. That,
well, I mean, I find that a little ridiculous. What do you think? We're not going to find out? There's a perforated, it's just...
Well, dude, I mean, there's this thing in the middle of the, in the middle of the art that feels like a record. How are you not gonna?
It's pretty obvious.
There's a record in there.
It's pretty obvious. There's no question. Right. But anyway, all this is to say that you guys have kind of become my pseudo liner notes. which kind of sucks because I don't want Discogs to
why
be
does
my.
it suck? No, it's awesome.
No, listen. I'll explain myself. As a
Okay.
database, it's amazing because everything's there, and I know I can go there. What I mean is, it's a little frustrating because usually, if I'm going to use it as the liner notes, is because the liner notes themselves don't stack up. Either the writing is too small, they don't pay enough attention, or it's one of those things where it's dark gray print on black, so you can't read it. That happens a lot with liner notes. So with you guys, you go to the site and it's like, all right, I don't need a magnifying glass. We'll just go, it's right there. And you find out that all of those amazing drum solos on the Kamasi Washington record are not one drummer. It's seriously, dude, seriously, if you like drum chops.
Kamasi has done a really good job of, man, it's the same thing that Miles Davis would do with his various groups and quintets and quartets and everything, is that he got the best players. And he really served up the best records because of the people around him. It's like anything, man. It's like if you want to be the best at something, you put the people that are better you in your band.
Well, the thing, actually, you mentioned Miles, and if we had to compare it to stuff like Miles, there's two comparisons that I would make to older jazz models, if you want to call it older jazz models. The West Coast Get Down reminds me a little bit of the CTI crew. So if you buy a lot of the CTI records, you'll see that all the same players are there. Airto Morera, Ron Carter, Steve Gadd on drums. There's a whole bunch of them, and it's all the same guys. Hubert Laws on the flute, and so on and so forth. Herbie Hancock on the piano, fucking Bob James on the organ. And it's the same thing with Kamasi Washington and the West Coast Get Down. So in that sense, it's kind of like, it's like CTI. And if the catalog gets that big, Cameron Graves' record has all the same players. Tony Austin's record all has the same players. So it's pretty cool. Even Thundercats on it,
Right.
And then the other that I think of probably more is, because you mentioned Miles Davis 70s period, and I don't mean in terms of sound, because Miles Davis's sound was very voodoo funk, right? Like very, very heavy funk stuff. What I mean in that sense is that the interplay, Kamasi doesn't feel like he has to be center of everything. He lets his players breathe more than on any other record, dude. So
right.
And 70s Miles was all about that. Sometimes it's like, he wouldn't fucking play a note for 8 minutes while his guys are going on.
Yeah, or when he did play, he played very little and let everyone else shine kind of around him. Yeah. I mean, and I think what's different, I believe, is that if you see Kamasi live, what happens is it's the exact opposite. I feel like he understands that people are coming there to see him. And so he takes way more of a spotlight in the live setting than he'll ever do on a recording. Well, it's like every song, like I'd seen him, a few months ago. And it's just like he just schooled the entire room. It was like every time he like got on and started playing, it was a trip.
It's funny, dude, because I didn't... I was trying to save any Kamasi talk for one of the weekly shows, like the review portion of the weekly. It's
right.
I got it yesterday, and I've already played it 1.5. How can you not talk about it?
Yeah, I'm actually going. I've listened to it. I've streamed parts of it, but I'm trying to hold off, and we can actually go to the record store today and pick it up.
Yeah. It's a much easier entry point for people that are kind of dipping into jazz, because it goes into the more accessible areas of jazz and touches upon other things that maybe the Epic and even the EP Harmony of Difference didn't. It's different, although I like the I like the crazy stuff.
He's got a lot of eyes on him, and when you start feeling the weight of continuing the jazz narrative, I think he's done an excellent job of kind of cashing in on that Kendrick Lamar light that was shown on him initially.
That's fair.
Right? So like now I feel like he's grown into giving that audience a little bit and still staying true to what he needs to do as an artist, to continue the art form, for sure.
Yeah. So All this is to say that's how I use Discogs. Hey kids, hey kids, do you want to win this beautiful T-shirt? You'll look better in it than I do. Share your Discogs handle with us. If you don't have a Discogs handle, there's a link there for you guys to follow. Register, and you will have a chance to win this beautiful, soft, silky, very, very supple on the nipples Discogs T-shirt. It will be available. You guys,
I don't have mine on today.
Yeah, you know, that kind of would have played into the whole Hans and Franz, because this was your idea. I have to admit, when you pointed it out, I had real douche chills, but then I thought, well, you know, who am I speaking with? You wanted for both of us to rock it at the same time.
I did. We could be twinsies.
Yeah, we can be like Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know it's true. I can only imagine you with those dreads. Did you ever wear white boy dreads?
No, dude, I haven't had hair on my head since I was like 24, 25.
So you were like the Homer Simpson type of things, just kind of losing it at 14?
I shaved it all off one day, and then because I'm incredibly vain, every time I try to grow it back out, it looked awful, so I just kept shaving it.
Dude, you can't possibly be that vain. Have you seen your eyebrows?
Dude, I could just grow them out and comb them backwards.
I'm just fucking saying. It's just, you know, there's threading. Speak to your girlfriends. Just like, go to an animal groom or something. You got to fix that. You need to tell me about something, bud.
Yeah, no. So, you know, we definitely had that 10 million milestone that happened, again, because of the community submitting all that data. But that blog post on the site really gets into like the releases that were submitted by each contributor group. And, you know, it's amazing. There's been, you know, basically, God, I guess it's like, I forget the number. I could look at it real quick, but there's like over 4,000 or 5,000 people that have submitted more than like 5,000 submissions, which seems insane. Like it just feels like there's just a group of people that just kind of commit to the database.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Based on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It often happens that I'll come across a variant of a record that's not on your database.
Okay.
And for me, it's like, fuck it. I'm just going to wait until somebody puts it up. Why do these people, and I think the guy that posted the most, posted 50,000, over 50,000 submissions.
Right.
What is the motivation?
Well, so that guy ended up actually coming to work for us. So his name's Brent. He's Diagnostics as a Fox is his username.
Oh, I know. I've seen it many times.
Yeah. So he's famous in the community, and he's submitted almost 50,000 releases to the database in over 13 years. I think the blog post calculates that to be, that's 10 a day.
10 a day.
10 submissions a day for 13 years every day.
You know, the guy's a nerd, right? He has to.
Well, you know, Brent's awesome, dude. It's like he's our discography specialist. That's his title.
Okay.
Man, he's just such a wealth of knowledge and such a cool dude. And just, I mean, he knows everything. Like, you can't stump him. And if you do, he comes back like 10 minutes later with an answer to something that he had
obvious.
Yeah, I mean, this is his life. This is, you know, it's one of those things that you can ask people like who they are, and you know, always ask people who they are without, and I ask them not to tell me what they do, right? So it's like, who are you? But you can't define yourself by your job. Seems to me that Brent has figured out how to define himself by what he loves and what he does, and made it his job, right? So, and that's like super cool that people can find that in their lives and have figured out a way to kind of make what they're obsessed with bring them joy. And that's like, you know, seems like something, you know, you could say, oh, he's a record nerd, or, you know, or kind of diminish it by, know, putting, no, I'm not saying that you are, but it's like, you know, people outside of like this community could be like, well, he's got to be like a huge nerd or something like that. And I was like, dude, who cares? Like, you know, it's he's found what gets him going in life, and I think that's all.
Well, no, look, I mean, I'm certainly not saying that because I think that I'm following exactly the same path with Vinyl Junkies. A question of, listen,
Right.
we buy these records, we like this stuff. Face it, we're nerds, right? So it's a question of, you know, you guys have the physical database. We have kind of like a qualitative database in our forum where we know each other, discuss, you know, which pressings are good and which is not. So it's a pretty cool thing. Now, I want to move on to something else because I've completely run out of things to say about that. You have this new program called Tracks.
Yeah, so
please
this is
explain
going to blow a lot of people. It's going to blow a lot of people's minds, right? So now you can go into any release in the database, right? So let's go into, say, Pink Floyd's The Wall, right? Okay, so when you're in that record, you can now go over to the track listing, and you'll notice something very different about all the track listing on every record. They're all now hyperlinked to their tracks page, their composition page. So any song on any record, you click on it, and automatically what opens up is a link to all the information about that song.
About that song. Okay, got you.
Yeah. So you've got basically all the information from the writers to the players and all the different variants of that of song as well. So for example, if let's say that you're on Shine On Crazy Diamond 1 through 5 on Wish You Were Here, right? If anyone else has so if that, other than the variant that you're looking on, if that song shows up on any other record or any other physical form,
it'll show up.
It's now listed. So if you're a collector and you're way into
dancing in the streets,
you can go find every physical variant.
You can find all 36 versions of David Bowie and Mick Jagger making complete fools of themselves on video. And you can have them all thanks to Discogs Tracks.
Have you seen the video where they take out the song and it's just those
look
two?
Fucking ridiculous.
It's so awesome.
Mick Jagger's bright blue pants. It's like, I think I still have retina damage from those pants because I still, they're seared into my brain. Much like this Discogs t-shirt. Do you like this Discogs t-shirt? Would you like to win it? Yes, dear friends, you could win. Not the shirt off my back. You cannot be that lucky. But you can win your own freshly laundered, very, very soft and supple Discogs shirt by following the link and telling us in the comments, what is your Discogs account? We want to know.
Right.
So Tracks, go on.
Yeah, no. So like right now I'm looking at Beat It by Michael Jackson, right?
Beautiful.
So there are 277 tracks listings for just that song based off of the Thriller variant that I pulled up.
Gotcha.
So, right. So you basically look at, in the information I'm looking at here, it's just like it's on the Live and Alive release. It's on Bad, the 25th. There's a version of that song on Bad 25. There's a Live in Japan Volume 3 that looks like a bootleg, which you cannot buy because we don't sell them, but it's listed in the database. And sorry, go ahead.
No, what I find really cool is I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what's the value? And then I thought about it. It's like we got a lot of David Bowie fans in Vinyl Junkies. Well, I mean, across the world, but just a lot of David Bowie fans in Vinyl Junkies. And a lot of these guys are obsessed with finding multiple copies of the same song. And testament to that is actually on your top 50 sellers of one month or another. I think that the extended version of Let's Dance is on it with, what's the bassist there? Nile Rodgers?
No, a guitarist. He's a guitar player, producer, stuff like that.
That's right. Okay. Oh, okay. He is a guitarist, not a bassist. All right. So and it was a very, very big seller. All this is to say that I can see, let's say, a Bowie fanatic really seeing value in that and just trying to collect every version.
Here's a super cool thing, though, man, that like blows my mind about the tracks thing. What I can do now is, like, again, the tracks listing for Beat It, right? there is a record called Chipmunks, Solid Gold Chipmunks 30th Anniversary Collection that was released on Buena Vista Records in '88, and they did a version of Beat It, and I only know about that Chipmunks record because Trax sent me to it. That's the coolest thing. Now, like, you cross reference. You all right over there? You gonna
Yeah,
make
man,
it?
go for it.
All right.
Bubbles, man. I got bubbles in the brain.
Man, you can cross-reference all of this stuff. I mean, it's just super cool. So if you're a fan of a certain song, or have certain songs that you're like after and need like different variants of it, or want to see the different versions of it, it's all sitting right there. Again, it's like there's 277 track listings for Beat It. It's like, so again, it's like just another level of collecting that you can dive into.
I actually just thought of probably in my particular case the best way to implement what you're saying. I'll use just one example. I really like reggae covers. Okay. Love reggae covers, and a lot of reggae music, a lot of music from Jamaica. I mean, and Africa and everything. A lot of it is just them taking music that they heard from the United States and doing their version of it. Mm-hmm. Dude, just the idea of being able to, let's say, think of any song at all. Vacation, okay? The Go-Go's Vacation. If there's a reggae version of the Go-Go's Vacation, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. And I would likely buy the compilation that it's on. You know what I'm saying? If there's a reggae version of, if you can imagine it, do you do karaoke?
Yeah, I do. It's awesome.
Dude, would you be my Peter Cetera? After all the starts and stops, we go by to these two.
I don't think that's the line, but okay.
That, it doesn't matter, dude. I want to be Cher, and you could be Peter Cetera. Now, if somebody did a reggae version of this,
right,
I would want to know, because Cher is the best, and I need everything. So
it sounds like you need to start your own database of just reggae songs.
What it is that I need is when we meet again at the Making Vinyl conference and do our little conference there, we need to go to a karaoke bar, and you need to be either Peter. You can be Peter Cetera, or if you can be Sonny Bono, I'm okay with that too.
Dude, why don't we we're doing a panel together. Why don't we just have the panel be a karaoke stage?
That would work for me.
I mean, really, what else do we have to say that
Dude,
our karaoke
man,
skills can't
Cher
say?
in her 50s gets on a fucking battleship, tattoos across her ass. She shows it to everybody. She's got all these young fucking Navy sailors dancing around her. That respect for Cher, and it's for Cher. It is for Cher, Jeffrey. That you and me, that panel, we need to sing, and you need to wear a Sonny Bono wig, or I'm not fucking doing it.
How about I dress as Cher?
No, that's me. That's me.
Oh,
dude.
okay. I don't know.
I use any excuse to expose my buttocks in public.
Oh man, I don't think I can go to Detroit now.
Sorry.
My God. So anyway, Trax. It's awesome. So
for all the reasons that we just outlined.
Yeah, for all the reasons we just outlined, and then it makes your karaoke nights that much better. But no, seriously, it's like I just used it the other day because I'm huge. I was trying to find another version of War Pigs.
How many versions of War Pigs exist? This is something I actually want to know.
Like for me, it's like I'm planning on running for Senate, so that's going to be my theme song.
It's funny. As much as I make fun of you, I know who you are as a human being, and I would vote for you.
Yeah, because I came out to War Pigs, right?
No, because besides the fact that you're a complete dumbass, your value system is so in place, and yeah, you're a people person. But I'm just saying, listen, the Senate poster, it's gonna look a lot better if you tame those eyebrows. Either that, or just tattoo your skull a little darker, so it's just, I don't know, man. Hair Club for Men,
How about I just get Sharpies and draw arrows pointing to them?
You need to do something, man, because you're going to lose a lot of votes on that. Those eyebrows.
Oh, man, I think they'll actually get me votes.
They do, eh?
Hold on. How do they look right now?
Bad.
Good. No, it's awesome.
What else do we need to know about? Oh, you know what? Can I ask you?
Yes. Yeah.
When did you guys release? What was it? Your latest blog. For some reason, you're doing a decade blog on best albums from 1968. Was the first one. I participated in that.
Yeah, you did one, and we just released one on 1978.
Yes.
That was pretty solid, and I'll drop that into the comments as well.
I liked that. I like that series. I like to hear why people think, why people like the records that they do. Now, you've asked me to do 1988, and
yeah.
It's a little bit of a difficult thing. I'll tell you why. Not because there's not a million records, but that's coming. 1988 is coming, folks. Look for the Discogs article. I was just looking at the list. Number one, there's over 20,000 albums that came out during 1988. There are some records that it would be so easy to point to, like Jane's Addiction's Nothing's Shocking was so right there for me. Slayer's South of Heaven was fucking so right there for me. But it's almost like I know you're asking other people, and do I try to go for something that's a little, that's not obvious or off the beaten path?
Here's what's been interesting about that series that I find super compelling.
Yeah.
People don't pick the obvious choices so far. I've asked certain people, I try to get a lot of people from the media, like music critics, things like that, a couple of people from the industry to get involved in. And the picks that they're coming up with, are just weird records, man. It's like, it's not it's not in the top 10 or the most collected in the community. It's like,
dude,
for like 1988, for example, think it's Injustice for All came out in 88.
South of Heaven came out.
Rattle and Hum.
Nothing's Shocking.
Yeah, Nothing's Shocking. Dude, two fantastic hip hop records. It Takes a Million.
Yeah.
Or It Takes a Nation. I combined them all. It Takes a Nation of Millions and Straight Outta Compton both came out in 88. So, and then what else came in? REM's Green came out. And what I would not be, so here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. It's going to end up being Isn't Anything, like My Bloody Valentine's. That was their second record. I think someone did pick Nothing's Shocking, but also like Naked, Talking Heads record came out that year.
See, the thing is that
you know what no one's going to pick that from that year though.
What?
Remember the Van Halen record OU812?
Oh yeah, of course. I used to have it.
That came out
whatever.
I don't think anyone's gonna.
I mean, I used to listen to it though. Yeah, but it's just like 1968. Doing 1968 was easy. I'll tell you why. Because I was born in 1970, so it's before my time. It's already kind of like fait accompli that I've listened to these records after the fact. The thing with 1988 and where it is that I'm caught in a conundrum is that I was 18 in 1988, so I had a lot of these records that blew my mind, but I listened to a much more limited type. I can look now. Man.
I mean, listen,
as a 48-year-old man, right? I'm still talking. As a 48-year-old man, I can look back at the records, and it's like, oh, this is a big record. This is a big record from 1988, but it would seem disingenuous. On the one hand, you can make the argument these records matter more to me now as a 48-year-old man. But on the other hand, there's the formative years of when you're listening to the records when they just came out, right? And those records, at 18 years old, I didn't know most of the stuff that I'm listening to from 1988 now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Listen, dude, I feel you. It's like in hindsight, like my taste as a teenager at this time, it's like, 88, like the first record I bought on CD, right, was Living Colors Vivid. It came out in '88.
Good record.
Right? So I think so too. However, it is skewed by the time in which I discovered it, which is, this is the first rock band that I see on MTV that is full of people that aren't the same color as me. The guitar player is crazy. Like I was way into
Vernon Reid.
that whole Vernon Reid's amazing. I was way into that whole funk rock thing, and just then discovering hip hop. Like I talked about, It Takes a Nation and Straight Outta Compton, but I was listening to Tougher Than Leather, like the
DMC
record, because I didn't know about NWA, and I just found out about Public Enemy. So I found out about Public Enemy through Fear of a Black Planet, and growing up in southeastern Kentucky, where if you're blasting, dude, try riding around in a Ford Tempo with a stereo system that is more expensive than the car you're driving, blaring Fear of a Black Planet.
Dude, you just described my life. $1,000 sound system in a fucking $500 car.
That was me. That was the first. I remember I had to go buy my sound system. I had to go get a loan from a bank and had my parents co-sign for it. It's just ridiculous, the stupid stuff I did. But anyway, it's that's what I would do. I would just go around with my discoveries through MTV, again going back to Fear of a Black Planet, Living Color,
but
doing those kind of things. But in hindsight, and being regionally cut off because of discovery, it's I didn't know about Surfer Rosa. It's
Sure.
I didn't know about the Pixies. I didn't get Daydream Nation, that now are records that I love, but I discovered after the fact that they were even a thing, because it's Sonic Youth and Pixies weren't on MTV, and if they were, I didn't catch them,
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's my high school's theme song our senior year was freaking Welcome to the Jungle, which is, again, not a bad song. Guns N' Roses aren't awful, but it's you were more apt to hear people blaring Hank Williams Jr. and Guns N' Roses out of their cars than Joy Division.
I saw Guns N' Roses. I saw Guns N' Roses open for The Cult. They opened up during, you remember the Electric album? The Cult Electric, the first one done by Rick Rubin.
No, it's awesome. Yeah.
That record to me was absolutely mind-blowing, okay? So I did everything I could. I was a full-on Cult fan back then. And they first came around to Montreal on a tour with Billy Idol. So they opened for Billy Idol, and that blew my mind. Then they came back and they did a solo tour. And they brought Guns N' Roses on tour with them. And here in Canada, Welcome to the Jungle hadn't even come out yet, right?
Right.
So, Axl Rose, he's a bit of a fruitcake. So he gets on, he's doing all this dancing, and people want to hear fucking Wildflower, and they want to hear The Cult. So while he's doing his entire thing, there's a certain contingent of the crowd that's going, Cult, 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 Cult. Dude, he pulls a fucking temper tantrum and tells the entire place to go fuck itself. He got so pissed off. And this was before the album ever came out.
Right.
Why did I just say all of this, though?
I don't know, but I'm dropping something in the comments right now. And I want your take on this. So it's Guns N' Roses has released this Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, mega box set.
Loaded, it's $999.
Oh, I know, I've seen it.
It's I don't know what to think about it. Are there enough Guns N' Roses fans out there to buy this?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks awesome, but it's almost what do you do with it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but
Like I have a hard enough time. Like, dude, you'll laugh at me, but you know the Vinyl Me Please sub series that comes in, and
Sure.
it's got the art print with it. This is how dumb I am. Maybe 7 or 8 records in, it just dawned on me to put the art piece in the sleeve, and that's where I should store it. So I had a pile of those posters sitting over here next to my desk, and they just kept piling up. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these things. I'm not gonna frame them and hang them up in the house. And then it just hit me. It's like, oh, they're the same size of the record, so I'll just put them in with the record.
Yeah. And this is confusing to you.
I just, you know.
And you want to run for Senate, right?
Well,
I'm not making
man.
judgment. I'm just trying to connect the dots over here, Kentucky.
Well, I mean, you know, the main thing is I don't know what I would do with all this Guns N' Roses stuff. Like, there's a flag. It looks like there's a flag in it, and like all these pictures. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what I would do with that.
Are you subscribed to the Vinyl Me Please's hip hop subscription?
I am not, but I need to because they put out a couple of really great records.
Fucking dope, dude.
Oh,
dope.
wait, hold on. I have this one.
And he just gets off. I'm talking to him. This is not professional, Kentucky.
Boom. So.
But you can't use my phone. Erica Badu, yeah, Clips, Lord Willin, which I didn't even know existed. They're fucking smashing it.
And I haven't opened it yet. And that is literally sitting right here because that's the next thing I'm going to listen to.
It's
so they've done a really good job with that stuff. I mean, dude, they do a really good job with their entire, like, everything that they do. There's a lot of thought there where it's like other sub services, you know, are just kind of there's no real rhyme or reason to it, and they've really done an excellent job.
Yeah, I know the kind of quality that I'm going to get. But the point I was trying to make when it comes to the hip hop series specifically, I love their jazz also, but they don't do this with jazz. Right. But what they do with the hip hop is that every record comes with a stencil. You know, like a stencil that you can spray paint and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude. Right now. The record cave over here is a fucking cave. I want it to stay that way. I'm not going to put a pool table in here. Where am I going to place the records? It's a fucking record cave. I'm not going to put hardwood floors because eventually most of this area is going to be covered by shelves. The VJ archive will grow. So what I'm saying is that I got concrete floors. I told Matt over there, get me some of those stencils. Dude, I'm going to make a nice little thing and just stencil the fuck out of the entire floor of the record cave. That would be amazing, and it would be the most obvious kind of advertising because a lot of record collectors, myself included though, you know, they won't use the stencil because you got to keep the record in pristine condition and it's got to stay there. There's this whole value thing, which you see a lot of with Discogs. And then you think about it and it's like, well, if you're not using the stencil, and I have the space, I got the spray paint.
Right.
It might be an idea, but there's that collector side of me that wants to keep the collection pristine.
You know what's funny about that, man? It's like there are a lot of people like that, but it's like, man, I buy records to listen to them and play them.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like I don't know if I can get to that level of like collectordom where it's like you don't physically handle the records
and actually enjoy them. No, dude, so much so, I mean, you don't see it from here, but the entire ceiling of the record cave here is all music. Like the entire, it's like, you know what? Maybe I can actually move the thing a little bit and you guys can get a better view. Let me see if I could get, oh, no, wrong. Oh, fuck. Dude, check this out. This is my beach body. It's a fucking problem. It's a problem. This is my beach body. But that's not what we're trying to look at. Check. Right?
Right.
These are all posters. A lot of these posters. There's a Swans poster. There's a Lee Hazelwood poster from the box set. There's a bunch of posters up on the wall. This stuff comes straight from the records. The minute it is that I take them and I just staple them to the wall, the quote-unquote value goes down because they're staple marks. Right. What good is a poster if it's going to stay in the fucking thing? What are you going to do? Every time you take out the record, just... No. Your dog doesn't like me. I'm speaking too loud. Should I speak more?
No, she's sitting at my feet just looking at me, wanting, so I have to constantly scratch her head or she gets upset. So.
I got you. So what it is, everybody got to look at something more interesting than me. Okay, tell me if we have anything to talk about now. One more time, folks. We're going to go off soon, but this Discogs shirt, which fits a little snugly on me, but will fit better on you. You can win this shirt. Well, yeah, it's a nice shirt. You can win this shirt if you share this video, like our page, Vinyl Junkies. You have to like our page. And just tell us what your Discogs account is, and we will choose one of you. Can we give away 2 t-shirts? Are you cool with that? One now.
Let's do it.
One now and one at the end kind of thing. We'll call one at the end of the show. So one of you guys that have been sharing, we're going to pick one of your winners. Jeffrey, you can start picking a winner there if you want to. Anybody?
Really? I get to pick the winner?
Yeah, you do, and I'm going to try to... I forgot what I was going to say, though. Now I don't know how to fill...
It says Catherine Keeney just joined. Maybe we should get Catherine a t-shirt.
Catherine Keeney, she just joined and we're giving her a t-shirt. She doesn't even know why she's here yet. She's lucky.
She's probably there to see you.
Probably not, dude. Have you seen what I look like? Are your eyes going, dude? You should
Man, I saw a picture of you. I think it was like the first episode, and you didn't have this massive beard and everything, and it's like I didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, it's been all downhill since, brother.
Yeah.
I'm falling apart episode by episode. But you know what it is that I can do? Can I tell you one thing, you guys? Fucking Discogs, they brand everything, these guys. They fucking brand Sharpies.
No.
Never mind. Can I tell you something?
We don't brand everything.
Can I? Yes, you do. Yeah, dude, you're like the fucking Quickie Mart now. They brand boxes.
Listen.
This is for your business. I'm trying to give you a business idea, Kentucky. Listen to me. Senators listen to their constituents. Listen to me.
You're not in my state.
Listen to me.
All right, let's hear it. Okay, let's hear it.
I usually wear a white headband. Today, black headband. You know why? Because I wanted your shirt to look spiffy. All this is to see, even if you look bad like me, you can still look good with the right accessories. This shirt, dude, you wear a headband, you put a Discogs right across it. I would rock that shit. I'm just saying. That makes more sense to me. Your dog hates me. That makes more sense to me.
Charlie.
Than your Discogs fucking shipping boxes and your Discogs Sharpies.
Right.
I'm an asshole, I know, right?
No, you know what I could do is just get you a white one and just write Discogs on it like you're, is it Jim McMahon from the 80s? Gosh, remember that guy on the Chicago Bears?
Oh, yeah, Chicago. Of course I do. You're talking about, the headband he was wearing during the, what was that?
Well,
the Super Bowl Shuffle? Is that what it was called? The Super Bowl Shuffle, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, so a friend of mine made a 7-inch of the Super Bowl Shuffle like 2-3 years ago, and did like all new versions on it. I think it's like going on Discogs for like $50-$60. Like he only made like 100 of them, and it's like Jim James from My Morning Jacket is playing saxophone on it. And it's all like these stand-up comedians and like WWE wrestlers like singing. It's pretty ridiculous.
Did you have as much fun as I did
today?
Yes.
Or in life?
No, listen. You got to be fucking miserable. You live in Kentucky. Come on now.
No, come on, dude. It's miserable living in the United States right now.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're choosing winners.
We're not going there. It's like, good.
This is the antidote. Space. The antidote to you. Fucking guy, I told you not to talk about that. Pick a winner. Pick a winner. Guys, we're going to pick 2 winners. Hold on. Think of one. And
pick a winner out of the comments.
This beautiful shirt, okay? We're going to give away shirt now, and we're going to give away a shirt at the end. Next week, we'll pick another one. Okay, so tell us what your Discogs account is. Like our Vinyl Junkies page, and see you guys next time. Because me and Jeffrey, we got things to talk about. Jeffrey, who wins?
Brian Cerdas. Cerdas.
Don't you feel good?
His user is Cran. I thought it said.
Why don't you like those so
it's
that
it's Crandrix, but I thought it was Crandick, like a cranberry. Anyway,
a cranberry penis. Yeah. And you think this is a family show? How dare you?
Oh,
how dare
my mother doesn't. My mother watches sometimes, and she doesn't like the fact that you cuss.
That I cuss a lot. Can I tell you? Can I tell you something, Mrs. Jeffrey? I wasn't raised right. I'm sorry. I have a young daughter. I don't want her to swear, and she's starting. She's 12. She's going to go to high school. And you can't really tell her not to swear because her father swears like a sailor. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. My vocabulary is very limited. So, Mrs. Jeffrey, if I ever come to Kentucky, never, I promise I will try to keep my potty mouth clean.
You'll need to. You'll be in Kentucky.
I'll be in. That's
You'll need to.
never gonna happen. Never gonna. No, that's not true. I'm sure Kentucky. Hey, wait a second. Didn't the Louvin brothers come from Kentucky?
Oh man, I don't know that.
I think the if the Louvin brothers came from Kentucky, that's the reason. The Kentucky headhunters came from Kentucky.
Oh.
Say goodbye,
Dude,
Jeffrey.
How would you not know that?
Say goodbye,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
You know the song Happy Birthday
No.
was written by two sisters from Louisville.
You see? So Kentucky is good. I've been trying to get rid of you, dude.
Why are you trying to get rid of me? We can just talk forever.
Just because it's too long. It's too long. Catch us next time, man. Good luck. We'll pick winners, okay? Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your long weekend. Happy 4th of July.